In his new book, Smallpox, The Death of a Disease, he chronicles his 50-year career in public health. His work as what he calls a disease detective began at the Centers for Disease Control in Atlanta. In 1967, he was chosen to lead the World Health Organization's campaign against smallpox.
And man will have won another victory over pain and death.
A story told in this WHO documentary.
It was a big problem, and we knew we had to work in about 50 countries, and we had about $2.5 million to do that.
Even though smallpox kills 1/3 of its victims, Henderson was optimistic. He had an effective, low-cost vaccine and injector guns, and newly designed needles that could deliver vaccine rapidly. Instead of inoculating every person in every country, he based his strategy on meticulous case reporting. The strategy has been used ever since to combat other infectious diseases.
To have some mechanism, a team, to go out, go to the place where the cases are, see if there are other cases around. You vaccinate them, and you build a kind of a wall around them of people. Because smallpox will not exist in animals. It has to go from person to person to person. As you can think of a chain. And if you break that chain at any point, smallpox stops.
Henderson relied on people on the ground to follow the trail. Their work was often complicated by rugged terrain and people fleeing floods and armed conflict. The turning point came in India in 1977. Henderson mobilized a surveillance and containment mission among the country's then 700 million people.
But by about the third search, it got better organized, and they decided to go to every house in India. And we soon found that we could go to at least 90% of the houses because we had a team validating this. 90% of the houses in India in 10 days.
In 1980, WHO declared the world smallpox-free. Almost 20 years later, the threat of its reemergence as a biological weapon led Henderson to open the Center for Biosecurity in Baltimore, Maryland.
So the idea of having a community prepared to investigate quickly, to do laboratory studies on, to say it's a new agent, we need to do research and very quickly develop a vaccine or an antiviral drug or what have you. This is very critical as part of our preparation.
In 2002, Henderson was asked to mount a response to a hypothetical smallpox attack. Approximately 75% of the U.S. population would be at risk because vaccination ended in 1972.
We made the decision we needed a lot of vaccine and we needed it quickly, and we were assured by everybody laying out careful charts that it would take 5 years to get 200 million doses of vaccine. And we had it in 18 months.
Looking back at his career, Henderson says what motivated him and his teams in the field was knowing they were saving people's lives. Roseanne Skirbel, VOA News, Washington.